Persons and vice chairpersons of the National Assembly committees put on notice, with Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah signaling a possible purge. Thank you for your company. EBN Prime Edition kicks off right now. Now we'll kick it off from beyond Kenya's borders, where Donald Trump has won the United States presidential election as projected by media on Wednesday, defeating Kamala Harris, who's the vice president, in a stunning political comeback that sent shock waves across the world. The polarizing Republicans' victory, following one of the most hostile campaigns in modern U.S. history, was all the more remarkable given an unprecedented criminal conviction, a near-miss assassination attempt, and warnings from a former chief of staff that he's a fascist. Now, Vice President Harris, who only entered the race in July after President Joe Biden dropped out, ran a centrist campaign that highlighted Trump's inflammatory messages. Trump is set to take oath of office in January 20th, 2025.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate, and I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try, we have to try, and it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. We are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time.
Indeed, and remember the margin is 270, and just the updates, he's currently at beyond 270, and still, a few states which are yet to complete their counting. But of course, that projection is similar across all, mainstream medias in America. But back here locally, residents in Oltian in Kajiado County are living in fear following the brutal murder of 25-year-old Rose Soila, whose body was discovered early this morning under disturbing circumstances. Authorities confirmed that Rose was violently attacked, raped, and murdered by unknown assailants in what has been described as an act of senseless violence. According to reports from neighbors, the attackers arrived at Rose's home in the dead of night, where they carried out the horrifying act. After murdering her, they reportedly raped the victim and abandoned her body just a few meters from her home. Police have arrested several suspects in connection with the murder and have launched a thorough investigation into the incident.
Angalia kwa dirisha, nikaona damu. Kutoka hapo, nikaona watu mahali mwili iko. Nikaenda on the way, nikienda hapo, nikaona kisu. Kisu ilikuwa very sharp.
Nimestuka sana kwa sababu hiyo jioni yake tulikuwa naye, kabla tumeachana naye like 6 ya jioni, alikuja akaniachia mtoto wake, akatoka akaenda dukani kutafuta unga. Hata kama alikuwa na makosa, sijui kwa nini alifanywa unyama kama huo.
Kuna ilikatwa shingo na very sharp object, na kulikuwa tena na other cuts on the body. Inaonyesha alikuwa na struggle na kushika kisu mpaka vidole zimekatwa.
Kichwa yenyewe haina hii nyama yote, hii ngozi yote ya uso ni kama imechinjwa yote. Imechinjwa hii ya uso na nywele pia ikachinjwa. So yote ilikuwa skull peke yake.
Kwa hakika tunaona it's part of the femicide that is going on in the country. Na imetulenga sisi, we've been seeing in the media, hata kwa bunge imekuwa pale. Na sasa tunaona kweli kitu inaweza kuwa mbali, lakini sasa imefanyika.
Tuko na wasiwasi kabisa chungu mzima. Kwa sababu mama tumekuwa tukiuliwa, mambo inapuuzwa. Unakufa hata uko Nairobi lakini leo hii ni sisi wote yani.
We can't tell the cause of the murder, but investigations are being done. The people who are suspected to have done it, and they have already recorded statements.
Worrying trends indeed over the rising femicide cases. Just a few weeks ago, the government announced that at least 97 women had been murdered since August, and this continues to be an alarming situation, even as stakeholders have called for the president to declare this a national disaster. Now, Education Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang inspected KCSE exams at Shimo La Tewa National School, noting a group of students attempted to sneak in mobile phones in the examination rooms, but security teams were able to move fast in action. Kipsang has lauded the multi-agency teams for remaining vigil across the country to prevent any exam malpractices and preempt any attempts to cheat. KCSE exams entered day 3 with smooth start reported across nearly all schools in the country. Over 900,000 candidates are sitting for this exam, which is expected to end on November 28th.
They were in Lamu. They were attempted sneaking of telephones, but our multi-agency team were able to nab it. And in so many other places, our multi-agency team has been doing a lot of good work because they are able to gather adequate information, and in most cases they have been able to preempt any attempts to breach the integrity of the examinations. And we are very grateful to all our colleagues in this multi-agency team within the security sector, within the Ministry of ICT, within the Ministry of Education, the Teachers Service Commission, and the whole ecosystem of our multi-agency team. They have worked and they have done a very good job. Besides that, any cases that try to arise, they already are ahead of some of these people who would want to disrupt the learning of our children and the assessment of our children, is that they have been able to quickly deal with some of those situations. As I mentioned earlier, on the first day when I received the reports yesterday, we realized that there are quite a number of our girls who are doing examinations in hospitals. I think the first day we had almost 27 of them, which is quite a high number. And we are trying to see across the country, we are trying to see how to ensure there could be a few of those cases anyway who may not be necessarily out of teenage pregnancies, because there could be a few of them who may have been admitted for other reasons. But generally we saw that that number of young girls doing their exams because of delivery, we could see compared it to 2023, it was slightly above the 2023 cases that we saw on the first day of examination.
Striking lecturers at the University of Eldoret have carried out protests at the institution, vowing not to resume work until their demands are met by the government. They insist the government should implement all details in the recently signed return to work formula, failure to which they would sustain their work boycott. The Dons were led by WASU branch officials, including Branch Secretary Philip Chebunet and Chairman Nyaberi Mogaka. They have also asked parents to take back their children from the colleges because no learning is going on.
Our lecturers, they have started intimidating our officials. The students who are being used, we are saying we are your lecturers. Those people writing to you letters cannot go to class. In fact, they are not even qualified. Some people pretend, and yet the same vice chancellors, they are the ones who will benefit from the sweat of these dons who are striking. In fact, some even call us at night and say, as the increment being given. Some of these registrars, some of these people who are pretending that they are not striking. But what we are saying, as dons of Kenya, there will be no more teaching. And we have told our parents, we love you parents and we love our students. The day we see the money in the bank, teaching will start. We shall be in class. But for now, we have suspended everything. And we are telling all students and every parent and everybody, we are the ones in charge of the universities now. The day you see us call off the strike, any other person calling off the strike, who is not our National Secretary General, who is not the Chapter Secretary General, those are imposters.
Now, President William Ruto has arrived in Juba, South Sudan for talks with President Salva Kiir over the peace process called the Tumaini Initiative. Last week, President Ruto held discussions with a government delegation from South Sudan and also met opposition parties' representatives in the Tumaini Initiative on Tuesday in Nairobi. The two groups have confirmed their readiness to sign the Tumaini Consensus, a product of inclusive negotiations. Kenya has been hosting negotiations between the revitalized Transitional Government of National Unity and other groups to advance the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the South Sudan Peace Agreement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for welcoming me to Juba. And I really appreciate your invitation.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate
At the invitation of His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayar, President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, made an official visit to South Sudan, during which the two heads of states held high-level bilateral discussions in Juba on the 6th of November 2024. The discussion focused on bilateral issues of mutual interest. These discussions were also held in a friendly atmosphere.
To finalize the mediation process, Their Excellencies directed the mediation team to reconvene and resolve any outstanding issues within 2 weeks. The heads of state agreed to secure regional endorsement of the Tumaini Initiative and to urge IGAD to mobilize resources and goodwill of the international community, including the Troika and other countries, to enable full implementation of the initiative. On bilateral relations, Their Excellencies noted that Kenya and South Sudan share strong historical ties built on fraternal bonds and are committed to bolstering these bilateral relations.
Now let's talk about Parliament, where Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah has sent out warning signals to chairpersons of various committees in the National Assembly for missing House sittings, a possible indicator of a looming purge within the said committees. Now Ichung'wah has asked members of Parliament to impeach the committee chairpersons and vice chairpersons who are not actively doing their mandate within the committees.
A member for Mwingi West, Charles Ngusia CNN, always in the House, but he's not there now. Member for Kolomani Shinali, usually on and off in the House, is not here. But Honorable Speaker, what point am I making? We were in the leadership conference last week, Honorable Speaker, under the able leadership of the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission and also our speaker. And part of the issues that were raised by members in that conference is House attendance, and more so calling on chairs and their vice chairs. Honorable Speaker, this afternoon, you have had to sit there and wait for at least 10 minutes for us to garner quorum. This House has not less than 60 chairs and vice chairs of committees. We only need 50 to transact business. If we add the leadership of the House, we have 70. Honorable Speaker, I counted the chairs who are in the House at the time you asked for the quorum bell to be rung. only 5 chairs of committees were seated in the House, and about 7 vice chairs. Where were the other 43 honorable chair? That you remind these chairs and their vice chairs, Honorable Speaker. As we said in Naivasha, we have only another 4 weeks to go for a long recess. But these are the 4 weeks of reckoning. If you are a chair of a committee, you must be in the House at 2:30. If you are a vice chair, you must be in the House at 2:30. There is no reason for the Speaker to come and sit and wait for quorum when there are members who have business to be transacted on the floor, they are not in the House.
The Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs has this morning held a consultative meeting with representatives from the Council of Governors on the ongoing stakeholders engagement on the review of the Kenya foreign policy. Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Musalia Mudavadi said counties are integral players in shaping and advancing Kenya's foreign policy through actively fostering economic diplomacy that benefits communities across the nation. He said county governments are invaluable partners in the ongoing review of Kenya's 2014 foreign policy. Upon completion, the revised policy document will be transitioned into a sessional paper, to be presented to Parliament.
County government's involvement in the regional international bodies. Our proposal is that the Kenya foreign policy should recognize the participation of county governments in the regional and international bodies, particularly in the areas of economic development, environmental protection, and cross-border cultural initiatives.
It is important for counties to be able to find their space in this foreign policy. Your Excellency, I was looking at the 2014 policy instrument, which is the one we are reviewing. 4 years after the enactment of the 2010 Constitution, when that document was enacted, it mentions counties only once. In a document that is about 70 pages, counties are mentioned one in the final pages of the policy document.
And one of the issues that kept on disturbing me was that Kenya's foreign policy was foreign to Kenyans. It was alien. Hence my persistency in actually saying that we need to have a review and have broader consultation with critical players in Kenya's political landscape, economic landscape, the social landscape, and you cannot now wish away devolution and the county governments.
Mbeere North Member of Parliament Geoffrey Ruku has called on the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury John Mbadi to come up with innovative tax measures to raise government revenue and to ensure the same does not overburden the taxpayers. Speaking during an inspection of ongoing projects in Mbeere North, Ruku noted that the expectations from the electorate are high and the government must get money to meet its obligations. He said members of parliament will support tax measures where Kenyans are comfortable and do not complain, putting the onus on the Orange Democratic Party that is now part of the broad-based government to help the president in providing quality services to the people.
ODM through CS Mbadi, they are in government. They have a responsibility to ensure we expand our tax base without Kenyans making noise. How they are going to do that, I don't know, but we are there to support any innovative policy, any innovative idea, which will expand our tax base. We collect more, we do more development projects, we use this money in a most prudent manner, without money going to corruptions. And Kenyans, without Kenyans making noise or going to the street. If those ideas come from the CS in charge of Treasury, we will be there to support them, to ensure we have enough resources which are coming from expanded tax base. There are many areas, many sectors, economic sectors, which are not taxed. And I know when I say that, Kenyans will say that's not true. But there are quite a number of areas which are not fully taxed. Just like I have come up with virtue asset bill, so that we can be able to tax money from the virtue asset trade. In Kenya, year 2023, Kenya traded $20 billion on virtue assets. Out of $20 billion, not even a single cent which went to Treasury. We have developed, or I have developed, virtue asset bill to ensure that space is regulated and Kenyan government can get more money from that space so that money can be used in development projects.
Parents and leaders in Tana Delta Sub-County, Tana River County are demanding a relook into the competence-based curriculum education program, saying that it was expensive to rural families in the area. They also claim that many schools in the area were struggling to implement the CBC system of education as they lack enough and necessary infrastructure for junior secondary school and also inadequate personnel. Ibrahim Boba, who's the head teacher of Kikomo Comprehensive Schools, said that they are now dependent on projects funded by the National Government Constituency Development Fund from Garsen constituency and donors like the World Bank, which is constructing 2 classrooms for the junior secondary school.
On KPSA issue, we have not got used totally into the system. I believe we might get used into the system in some years back, because those learners that we are dealing with them, where we are moving to grade 7, who are called junior, they are too young. They are very young. They still have the mind of the primary kids. So the government should also see on how to improve on it. We don't have enough infrastructure. We need more infrastructure. We need the input both from the county government, the CDF, which is national government. We need more infrastructure. We are also having inadequacy of personnel, that is teachers.
Ambao kwamba imetukumba kidogo, kuna wakati wanafanya mtihani ya practical kidogo, kuna vifaa ambao kwamba hatukuwa nao mbeleni. So ningependa serikali next time wafanye watujengee lab hapa shuleni kwetu, ili mambo ndogo kama hayo isiwahi tokea katika shule yetu.
Kwa mzazi, changamoto iko hapa, tuko na madarasa hapa lakini hazitoshi, na ECD hatuna classrooms, watoto wanasoma chini ya hizi miti, na choo pia kuna uhaba ya choo. Staff room pia ni hiyo enye mnaona, si ile ya kisasa. Although sasa mheshimiwa ametuahidi atatujengea, hata hizi materials zimeletwa. KPSA pia hakuna darasa. Sasa hizi ndio kumepatikana equalization fund, imeletwa 2 classrooms zinaanza kujengwa lakini haijaisha.
FKF Machakos County has launched their nationwide campaigns for the ongoing FKF elections. Speaking to journalists in Machakos, current chair Nur Abdi stated that they have organized all systems for smooth elections with the aim of improving and elevating soccer standards in Machakos. The meeting gathered all 31 delegates from across Machakos County, and he also mentioned that the FKF office in Machakos spearheaded the first Governor's Cup, where over 600 teams from 40 wards in the county participated.
Leo tumekutana na delegates wa Machakos County ambaye kwamba ni around 31, na tulikuwa tuna discuss about football. Pali tumetoka for the last 4 years ambaye kwamba tulikuwa na team kidogo. Sasa hii tumekuwa na team kila sub county na county na regional na division 2 mpaka tuko na team NSL. Hiyo ndio progress ambayo kwamba tulikuwa tunaangalia, na pia tulikuwa tunaangalia the way forward ya Governors Cup vile imetusaidia, ambaye kwamba tuko na team around 650. Pia tukadiscuss the project ambaye kwamba inakuja ya FIFA, ambaye kwamba itatutengezea stadia ambaye kwamba itatusaidia hapa Machakos na vitu vingi na zaidi ndio tulikuwa tumeongelea leo. Tuko na election ya FKF, see you are aware, ambaye kwamba tutafanya on 9th. Sisi tulikuwa tunaomba delegates wetu waone ile kazi tumefanya na ile kazi tutataka kuendeleza, ndio tuweze kuwork na national office ile itakuja ya juu.
All right, we wish all candidates the best who are, of course, vying for various positions within the county levels, as well as at the national level in the Football Kenya Federation, as they seek to get whoever will be in office come December 9th, as they'll be heading to the polls. So we wrap it up at that point. Thank you very much for watching tonight. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. God bless.